Could it be an early Super Bowl preview? It's a coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the two teams with home field advantage if the season were to end today, as it'll be the New York Giants as they get set to square off against the Houston Texans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. It'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. They can't tackle it. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And his first look is incomplete. Let's look here at the Houston offense.
Will Fuller is one of the young flyers in the NFL and gets to top speed in just a couple of steps, so everyone has to respect the deep game because he'll blow past people in a hurry. But what that does is leaves open space underneath. He can take the short pass, turn it into a bigger game because he makes people miss. If he takes care of his hands and doesn't drop a pass or two in a game, he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league.
Here's McCaffrey. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
Such a valuable commodity to have a tight end who can run and get open. How about what he just did there? Worked his way from right to left across the field and found his way free.
A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Barkley. And some space here. And now running right through it. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. But right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The numbers for him from a week ago. Now, you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll set up to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans, they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he will will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Giants are able to grow their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw here. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end, can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. In for the score. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now let's go. Green.
They're going to look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion.
And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big gain of 39 on 3rd.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Here we go now. Blue line.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now out come the Giants. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Let's go. Blue line.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know that. He's got a man, complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big play there for the Giants. 42 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
On the run, it's Barkley. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. So we played one quarter here on a Monday night. 21-0 our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? A gain of 6 there on first.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
All right, here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And who's got it? The Giants! Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Super
toe.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Good. Let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Now back to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Barkley. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. DJ Reader in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And the Giants send out their punter now. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. This is McCaffrey on the give. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Alec Ogletree in on the stop. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Caught left side, Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Geno Atkins coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula's not working right now. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And Zerline's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well and hold the defense back from their pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the 2nd quarter. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go. 3-9.
Looking to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Boom, landing.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. And it bangs off the right upright. No good. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where you see the final score there. Sam Darnold, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Carson Wentz, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Green 39.
Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Hopkins. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And taken right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Ryan Anderson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Shepard. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Give him 30 yards there. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley, 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down.
Here we go now.
On third down, Barkley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Rosas to add the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far, 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so?
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Giants have got it on cruise control.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Gets around him. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it again with Barkley. Still fighting for more. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
They're going to look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Texans on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Set. Green 39.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
I know it's a phrase that sounds really cool, strip sack, but all we're talking about is getting to the guy, getting to the passer, making the tackle, making the play, but do a little bit extra, right? Stripping the ball out, working the arm free. That's become a big emphasis for all defenders.
Yeah, and as a defender with the emphasis, this is something that's practiced.
Practiced all the time. Taking the ball away, creating turnovers, that's really job one for any defense because that's how you win in today's NFL.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
All right, here we go. Boom, landing.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
All right, here we go.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll halt play here for an injury as Christian McCaffrey is slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the left hash, this from 39. And Zerline's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. The New York set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, a broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. He'll look to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass down the field.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
319.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Set. Blue landing.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fielded at the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And New York set to take the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Back that
contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darian Thompson, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
New York set to take the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now let's go.
Here's a give to Barkley. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.